Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a few things that customers keep bringing up with us over the phone, some new things we're rolling out here, and just some different things that we've experienced recently and just want to discuss. So I've made a few notes here, so I will refer to these just as bullet points and then talk to you. So the biggest thing that I cannot stress enough is there is a reason why people come to LITH-TECH. Is because we are actually the only UK's specialist when it comes to electric folding wheelchairs. We have a complete range of chairs, accessories, add-ons, modifications to literally tailor-made a chair to your specific needs. No one else in the UK does this. It is imperative, and I mean imperative, that you do not place an order by yourself online thinking that you know what is right for you. Believe me, I'm not saying we know more than you, but we know our chairs much better, we know the add-ons much better than you do. And what you think is right for you, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 isn't right for you. Literally on a daily basis, we refund people, tell them that we're not happy with the chair that they've ordered and we're not going to sell it to them. Sometimes they respect that we probably know more than what they do, and they say, okay, so what do you recommend? And then we will go through a proper questionnaire with them, let them know exactly what they're going to need, chair-wise and setup-wise for their actual needs and use case. You know, we constantly get it, the same old thing. Everyone is so obsessed and concerned with the weight of the chair. It's one of the least important things. I mean, it's important, but the most important things by a long way is to be comfortable in it and have a chair with capabilities and that it's going to be safe for your body shape and use case and things like that, and your weight, to actually do what you need it to do without causing any issues. Every mobility shop in the UK will sell you a chair because all they care about is money. We completely refuse customers' chairs all the time, and we will literally only have your best interest at heart, and we'll only sell you stuff that you need. Sometimes we give people full refunds if they don't like what we say. We'd rather you weren't a customer of ours than we sell you a chair that's not fit for purpose for you, borderline dangerous, or that you would have spent £2.5 grand on, £2 grand on, you'd be completely unhappy about. So take our advice, because I guarantee you we know what we're talking about more than anyone in the UK does, and we will give you the perfect solution if you just take our advice and follow our lead. Why do you think we've got like almost perfect reviews upon all our review platforms? It's because we know what we're talking about and we go out of our way to help customers, and it's not about the money for us. That comes as a byproduct of offering a really good service and really good products. It's because we know what we're talking about and we give you the solutions that will actually suit your needs. So that's point one. Call us and we can help you. Don't try and figure it out by yourself, because you're only going to get confused. There are a lot of different companies and products out there, and I guarantee you there's only about 3 decent wheelchair brands in the UK. We're one of them. The other two, the Folder Light range, Trekkers and all of that, and I don't get confused with the Careco Folder Light and all of that, or Instafold, their pants. And the Freedom chairs, they're the 3 people you want to be looking at. Discard everyone else because they're utter rubbish. I'm just telling you how it is, saving you some money. So yeah, the importance of not buying a cheap wheelchair. We get this now on a daily basis. People come to us originally because they like our videos, they like our reviews, they like what we provide, they like the look of our chairs. But then because of the cost of living crisis, people will then say, oh, well, surely a wheelchair is a wheelchair, so I'm going to go buy something cheap for £1 grand off eBay, or one of the entry-level model chair brands. All that happens is they buy the chair, they spent 1,200 quid on it. They then call us back up 6 months going, oh, Toby, I wish I'd just listened to your advice. This chair does nothing I want it to do. I feel like unsafe on it, blah, blah, blah. It's heavy, it's bulky, we can't even pick it up, put it in the car. And I said, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I'm here to help you for when you sell that chair and you are ready to purchase, something that's going to be a bit more suitable. The only problem is at that point, they've spent 1,200 quid. They then have to flog the chair, which they're going to lose, half the money on it. So they've only got 600 quid. And then they're back to square one, spending even longer to save up for the chair that they actually need. Whereas if they'd just gone for us and listened to what we said and not try to sort it out by themselves, they would have saved. We get this every day now. People are just trying to save the money, and I completely get that. But you're only actually costing yourself way more money in the long run. Also, the same as don't buy second hand. Like we had someone come in the other day and she had the nerve to actually say, I said, look, whether it's us or anyone else, don't buy second hand because you've got no idea. The only people that have any ideas of the history of the chair is us through serial numbers and things like that. You've got no idea where you're buying from. She goes, oh, so that means you don't trust your chair? And I was just like, no, it means we do when we know all the history of them, but you've got no idea the history of that chair. We recently had someone call in and say, oh, I was wondering if you could give me an idea. I got this chair off eBay and it cost me, I think it was 1,200 quid or something. And here this is all the serial numbers and stuff. And I said, I'm really sorry to upset you, but you've had that chair's about 5 years old. Your batteries are almost going to be dead any minute now. And he's like, well, so what's the cost of new batteries? And I was like, it's about 500 quid. And he's like, so I basically spent 1,700 quid on a chair, which is 5 years old. And it's like, if I just saved up 300 quid more, I could have bought a brand new chair from us. I'm like, yeah, and you also would have got you would have got a year's warranty, free servicing and free maintenance for the rest of your LITH-TECH lifespan, all programming, all the benefits of being a LITH-TECH customer you would have got, and now you're going to have to pay for absolutely everything. So by people trying to skimp out, you're actually costing yourself so much more in the long run, because you've got no idea who's used that chair before you. It could have been someone that's not looked after it. They might not have cleaned it, which means all the motors are going to wear out much, much quicker. They probably haven't tightened it, which means different parts of the chair are going to wear out much, much more than other parts and have more strain on them. You could have had someone that's quite heavy, which is going to put much more strain on the motors than someone that's lighter. Someone could have died and it could have been sat in their garage for 6 months, meaning the batteries haven't been charged once. So the battery cells have lost their memory. You've got no idea. So yeah, it's one thing buying refurb chairs off us when we know the history of the customer, why they're selling it, how long they've had it for, etc. But do not buy second-hand stuff, whether it's us or from another company, unless you know the history of the chair, because you will get stung, you will waste your money, and you will hate life, because the last thing people want when they're looking forward to something is to be let down massively, and that's all that's going to happen. Another thing we get constantly is wheelchairs over scooters. What's the benefits? Well, this is pretty easy. So the only decent scooters you can buy nowadays are what I call the granny mobiles. Very heavy duty scooters, almost look a bit like Harley Davidsons, have their little flag at the back, their little horn at the front. They go live in their townhouses and they go meet their friends and out for coffees and decide on Waitrose. They are amazing. They're the safest bit of mobility equipment you can physically buy in the world. The only downside is they weigh about 150, 200 kilos. So trying to get them into a car is impossible. Travel scooters are long wheelbase. They're narrow. They can tip because they're long wheelbase and narrow, so they're not good on cambers. They're long wheelbase, that means their turning circle is always going to be as long as the chair, meaning they can't be used in pubs, they can't be used in restaurants, can't be used in shops, anywhere where you need to manoeuvre. But to work, the best, quickest and easiest way of making a piece of mobility equipment light is reducing the size of the wheel and the motor. By reducing the size of the wheel and the motor, you're also dramatically using capabilities. Reducing capabilities, So it means you also can't use them outside. So basically, lightweight, mobility scooters that are for transport and travelling are redundant. They don't do anything. That's why the folding electric wheelchair industry has boomed and will continue to be the fastest growing area in mobility for the next foreseeable future until the next best thing comes along. But at the moment, there is nothing to touch it because they're just so diverse. You can take them anywhere in the world, in shopping centres, in pubs, restaurants, or out, in a county fair, where you're going, on grass and things like that. Or great for cruises, small turning circle, easy to move around a cruise ship. That's one of the biggest questions we get asked. So what are your chairs like on cruise ships? The answer is absolutely perfect, because amazing during the night and the day on the cruise ship, but then when you go out on your excursions off the ship, you've got the capabilities still, so you don't get left behind. You don't have to be stuck on the boat. They give the best of both worlds. Another thing I've got to touch on is when you deal with us, we will treat you with respect as long as you treat us with respect. At the moment, I don't know, for whatever reason, if it's the sun, we're having a lot of people calling us up and basically telling us what we should be doing. We don't get told what to do at all. We don't get spoken to like that. And I've had to take the phone from some of because we do everything on speakerphone, so it's very transparent in this office, so everyone can overhear every single call. So that's one way of knowing that every question or conversation and phone call is always dealt with in the right way. If you start speaking to us not very nicely, then we will just say, look, we don't want your business, we don't need your business, please go elsewhere. We are not here to be spoken to like that. We're here to help you, give you a solution, and us all just be really, really nice to each other and things like that. The other thing is, if you're going to come into our offices for a demo, do not come in here and start trying to barter with us. Yes, we don't mind throwing you in a free travel bag, a free detachable bag, but when you've already got, and this happened the other day and I actually had to ask them to leave, when you already have £100 being taken off the price of a wheelchair, because it's on sale because we've got 100 wheelchairs coming in and we need to create some space. When you've already got 150 quid off a wheelchair, do not try and say, well, I've travelled all the way from Birmingham, so I expect you to take off another 100 quid, or I expect you to give me that for free because we've made the effort. People fly in from Ireland and buy a chair from us just to do a demo with us and fly home that same day. Constantly, people are from Newcastle up north, all the way down south, Bournemouth. They come spend a night in the hotel just to do demos with us, get their chairs. You coming from Birmingham is probably an average journey for people from our demos, and don't expect just because you're coming to us for us to to literally try and pull our trousers down enough for us to give you something for nothing. In the day, you're coming here because you're getting the best products, you're getting the best service, you're getting the best demo that you can possibly get, where we will literally take you out for a good 15-20 minutes and actually show you how to teach you how to use the chair in every different situation possible. So you're only getting the right fitting, all the modifications that you need to make your disability and life as easy as possible. You're also getting shown how to use the chair as safely as possible, which no one else does like we do. So there's a reason you're coming to us. So when you're here, don't ruin the sale for yourself and your family members. In this case, it was a dad trying to barter for his son just so he could get a deal, and in the end he lost the chair for his son. And I said, look, it's your dad that's done this for you. You can thank him on the journey home, but no one's going to tell us what to do in our shop. Like, just play the game and we'll play the game back. Don't tell us what to do in our own shop, because no one likes being told what to do in their own house. What's the next one? Also, all of our sales are done completely by the book here. We don't accept cash at all. So please stop asking us to do under the table cash deals and things like that, and getting upset when we tell you we don't accept cash. It's very normal now for businesses not to accept cash, especially predominantly online ones. And the fact also, the matter is, all the local HSBC branches are closed down around here. So even if we were to accept cash, it would take me about an hour and a half as an all-round journey to even go to our local HSBC branch, cash it in, and then come back here. Quite frankly, I do not have an hour and a half free in my day to do a banking run. So anyone that comes in here, bank transfer, credit cards, debit cards, absolutely fine. We do not accept cash. So please don't ask for it, and please don't try and do dodgy, you're not going to discount things for cash as well, just going to say. Okay, last but not least, demo structure. So up until now, we've always just done a straightforward demo, and it's worked quite well, but we are literally so busy to the point where we need to add 3 demos in a day now, and people are queuing back, sometimes a couple of weeks on end, just to get a slot. Most people, that I'd say 9 times out of 10, everyone that comes in here will buy on the spot. It's just a fact. They already know that they've watched the videos, they've done their research, they've had a mini qualification over the phone with us. They know they want to buy a LITH-TECH chair. The only thing they don't know is which one is going to be most suitable, and then how are we going to modify that chair for their, to most suit their needs. I mean, it's a fact now that probably only 1 chair in 10 we sell is completely standard now. Every other chair we will do some sort of modification to it, whether it's small or completely rebuilding a chair from different parts we have in our warehouse, or different add-ons, or from other different chairs to make a perfect solution. So we're going to have a gold demo, and that's for people that want to buy on the day, serious buyers, which are most people that come through our doors anyway. And that's when you'll be given a cup of tea, coffee, water, if it's hot weather like this. We'll run for a full consultation with you. We'll get you in a chair, look at the seating positions, recommend a few options that are going to suit your use case, and then how we're going to build that chair around your situation and needs. We will then do a few laps of the warehouse. We'll show you how to go through doorways in a safe manner. We'll teach you about the pulsing technique. We'll show you how to hold the joystick correctly. Basically show you how to be as controlled as possible in an indoor environment. Once we've done that and you've got a bit of a handle of the joystick and controlling the chair, we will then take you outside. And this is the bit that no one does. We will literally do curbs, we'll start with drop curbs, and we'll start very, very gently, how to take a drop curb safely. We'll then do a gentle camber, how to take that, and the dynamics of what you need to do. Because the two biggest problems, obviously, with mobility equipment is the fear of cambers and curbs, and we will then alleviate that fear, let's call it, so you actually feel comfortable and confident to use the chair in the real world. It's one thing driving a chair on the flat in a showroom in a mobility shop. Yeah, I mean, any chair will feel like the best chair in the world if you've never tried a chair before on the flat. Where chairs really, really jump in category and calibre is when they're actually used in the real world. When you've got slopes, when you've got cambers, when you've got curbs, that's when you separate the £1,000 chairs to the £2,000 chairs. And oh my God, it is night and day in like capabilities. So yeah, we'll do, then we'll go up to then we'll go up to quarter curbs, and we'll go up to half curbs. We'll teach you how to do curbs in reverse. So that means the beauty of that is you don't have to travel 500 meters down the road to try and find your nearest drop curb. We'll teach you how to safely go up it in reverse, because that's a massive skill to learn, and there is only one way of doing it, and everyone does it wrong unless you know how. And then we'll go back to an even harsher camber, which is just around the corner. Quite luckily, we've got a little cul-de-sac. They must all hate me in there because I do about 2 demos of this nature there a day, so they're always used to seeing them. Some of them very friendly. I'm sure some of them hate me, but it's an amazing little assault course for our customers. And this one's got potholes. It's got a really harsh camber. It's got dips. It's got drains. It's got loose grit. It has every nasty known to mankind. So it's great for learning. And then last we will do is we'll teach you how to do grass, and there's a really good grassy bank which I actually take customers down and teach them how to navigate and see the hazards before they get to them, so they know how the chair's going to react, and then a grassy bank that we can take up. So and there's a little bit of gravel. We've even got some what's the word? I've forgotten the word. You get them in market towns. I've gone back. Not cobbles. We've even got cobbles here. We actually have everything. When we get back to the office, we will then look at getting the chair in and out of the car, and you'll get a full demonstration, so you'll understand how every single piece of the chair works, all the tricks of the trade to make it easier to fold and unfold. Because believe if you can fold a chair in many different ways, but there's always an easiest chair. If you bring the weight and the gravity back, it literally is the point where it's not a strength thing. You can fold and unfold it with your little fingers. So we'll teach you how to do everything the right way, how to use freewheel mode to your advantage, and in what cases to use it. And then at the end of that, we'll shake hands. We'll do the deal. We'll set the chair up to your needs, put it through on the website, and then we'll set it up for you. Well, my colleague will set it up for you whilst I'm doing all the paperwork and talking you through the insurance and things like that. So it's very extensive, worth its weight in gold. We quite often have customers, saying, well, more than happy, can we come in and pay for a demo? We say no, because we quite frankly don't have the time to do other people's demos and teaching them how to use the chair. We deal with our own customers who are buying from us, and they are the ones that get the best experience possible, and it's all part of the service that we provide. And we quite frankly are so busy here, we don't have the hours in the day to be having random people coming in just so they can be taught how to use their wheelchair. Maybe that's something we'll look into the future. We'll have much more staff, but at the moment it's all about our customers that come in and the way we treat them. So that's pretty much it. So there's some good, the bad and the ugly in that one. It's a bit of a home truths one, but it's one that has to 100% be said, so people know exactly where they stand. We know where we stand. Everyone's happy. But yeah, in the end of the day, I'm trying to teach you what to expect when you come in here, and also trying to save you money so you don't buy cheap stuff elsewhere and then come back to companies like us afterwards. When you would then waste a lot of time and money and effort, and also a lot of it is you're going to get very upset throughout the process. Like, if you can pass everything on to us so you don't have to worry about a single thing, we will just guide you through the process, hold your hand, and it's going to save you a lot of guesswork, a lot of heartache, a lot of money when you've made a mistake, because trust me, we won't let you make a mistake. So use us for our skills that we have. We're more than happy to help you. We like speaking to people on the phone. It's great. It's okay to start with an introductory email, but then if we can switch it to a phone call, there's so many questions that need to be asked. A back and forward email thread would end up being an A4 page long. We don't have the time for it here. you probably don't want to be doing that. So let's just speak on the phone like adults as long as we can. Obviously there are going to be some disabilities who won't be able to speak over the phone, and in that situation, yes, we will run through everything via email. But if you can speak on the phone, that's how we operate here. It's nearly as good as face-to-face. And that's obviously all how we do all of our consultations as well. It's all over the phone. Like 90% of our sales are done over the phone, with customers putting their trust in us and us asking the right set of questions to understand what chair they need for their use case and how we're going to modify it to their body shape and their lifestyle to make it all work for them. So basically, moral of this video is just put your trust in us and we'll make your life much, much easier. All right, see you in the next video.